Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer. I hope all of you guys are doing great out there. Well, in today's video, I just wanted to share my entire experience with you guys from the time I've entered into the airport at Hyderabad until I reached my hotel where I'm quarantining right now. Every single document that was required, or the applications, or anything of that sort, which certain people might miss out on before they travel to Canada as a student. That is something that I thought I will go ahead and discuss it today. So yeah, let's begin with the video then. Okay, you guys. So let us go bit by bit. So the first and the most important thing that you will have to do before you step into Canada right now is to take a COVID test, which is quite obvious. So before pandemic, I don't think there was anything as such, any rule as such where you had to take a test or anything like that. But right now, all the students who are traveling to Canada, any international student who is traveling to Canada, they need to take a COVID test. So what happened with me is my flight was on the 11th of Jan. So I booked Air India, and what happened was my flight was at 10:55 in the night, and I took my COVID test on the ninth morning, somewhere around 9:30 in the morning. So the first thing that happened to me as soon as I went to show my documents and check in at the Hyderabad airport, they asked me my COVID report. That's the first thing that they will ask you, and also your flight tickets, obviously. After looking at my COVID report, that is where I was asked to wait for a while, because the rule is that it should be 72 hours. There should be a 72-hour the report, I mean the COVID report, the result of the report or the test that you had to give to for COVID. I think it was 72 hours that the report would be valid for. And I don't know, I actually calculated it in this manner that, if I take it on the ninth morning, then 10th, 11th, and 12th morning, that is when I would be landing in Canada. I thought it would be valid until then. However, at the airport, after they cross checked all of this information, he told me that my report would only be valid for the next 45 minutes. I was very scared because I thought after I land here, people might ask me or make me to stand or do something like that, where I was really scared about this. However, at the immigration department in Hyderabad, they did not ask me or tell anything as such. He just told me that I need to be aware of this, and the report will be valid for the next 45 minutes alone. And after that, nothing really happened. To be very frank, I was really scared about my luggage, because I had seen these videos or all this information on the website where there was a certain limitation to each of the suitcase, and if the weight exceeds anymore, they'd ask us to remove the stuff from inside the suitcase and all that. However, I was so very mindful about it, and I packed the limited amount of weight. And one thing that happened to me that was very weird is they did not even check the weight of my cabin bag. So I really wish I could have stuffed a little more items in it. However, I did not do it because I was really scared. But yeah, that too. I mean, I do not know if the same thing happens with everyone or it just happened to me. But my the weight of my cabin bag was not checked. The rest of the three bags that I took along with me, there were no questions asked or anything as such. And that's it. My Hyderabad, my flight to Delhi was completely fine. And after that, I had to take another flight in Delhi at 3:30. So I was scared again because my COVID reports, which my the test report, which the immigration department, the head of that department told me that it will not be valid. I was scared at the Delhi airport. However, they did not ask me any questions. They just took my COVID report and again your boarding pass and all of it. That's it. Nothing more than that. There was security check-in, and I took my flight from there. Now coming back to Canada. So as soon as I entered the Canadian airport, so I had to get down in Toronto, and yeah, the same thing. They will ask you to stand in a line. my COVID report was not something that was asked in Canada. So this is something that you guys have to be well prepared prior, and which is very very important. So the second most important thing after your COVID test that you have to do is to download your ArriveCan app. Now, ArriveCan app is something that you will have to keep ready when you enter the airport, because all your flight information and all of it should be uploaded in the ArriveCan app. Okay, so what happens is once you enter all the details and your timings, when you will be arriving in here in Canada, when do you have your flight, when all the details are entered, you will get a code. Okay, it is going to be a combination of letters and numbers, and I think it's a 6 or 7 digit seven. The code has seven alphanumeric things in it, and you just have to keep that code ready with you. So that will automatically come when you log into the app. Now, most of them, what they did here in the airport, which I have seen, which the immigration consultants have also considered, is they have taken a printout of that specific screenshot of that code. So as soon as you enter into Canada, you can connect to the Wi-Fi of the Toronto airport. Most of you people do not know this, but ArriveCan app and there is iSent app, I believe that is the name of the other application. These are the two apps which you need to download when you are in India. So in this iSent app, you will have all the details of how to connect to the Wi-Fi of the Pearson airport, that is YYZ airport. So please go through all the details, and that will be easy for you to connect to the Wi-Fi as soon as you land here. And yeah, the first thing that they'll ask you is to keep your ArriveCan app ready, and they'll ask you, you will get an option called print a receipt. When you click on that, that is when you get that code which you need to show at the immigration desk. So apart from it, they would ask you for certain documents, so it depends again on person to person. I'll also tell you guys a list of all the documents which you need to carry, just to be on the safer side. And apart from it, I don't think they'll ask you for any other details. Everything, you should be actually carrying every single Xerox copy. Mostly they would ask you for your offer letter, they would ask you for your quarantine plan. You need not show anything as such, but I mean, they did not ask me to show anything as such. However, I just told them that my college booked a quarantine for me, and all of those details. So keeping a printout of all those receipts, and when the college books your quarantine, they actually send you a lot of forms like your POE. A lot of forms is something that they will be sending you out to your official college ID. So I am from Lambton College. I got all my emails on my Lambton ID, and all of the documents that were sent to me, I took a printout of it and I kept it ready. So at the first desk, they just ask you to show your ArriveCan app. You'll have to open it up. They'll ask you for the code. They'll check it. They'll ask you any other questions like where would you quarantine and all of it. Post which they would generally ask you to stay in your quarantine in your room or anything for 14 days and not to come out. They will warn you that the government has eyes and on you throughout the entire quarantine period, all of that. After which you will actually have to go to the next department. Now again, here is the department. So this is again a part of immigration, where you will be given your study permit and your work permit. Now here again, there were a lot of counters, I think like 16 counters. So you'll have to stand in a queue and people will ask you to keep coming, and that is when you will have to go to that specific counter. That is when they'll ask you certain other questions. Now again, they will ask you for the ArriveCan app. You will have to keep it handy. That is something that is asked as soon as you enter the Canadian airport. So I mean, from the time you reach the immigration services. So once you show it, that is when that specific officer is going to ask you your documents. Now for some of the people, they just asked their offer letter. For some of them, they just asked there were no questions asked majorly, like. But for some of the people, I was seeing that a lot of questions are being asked, like which course are you, where exactly are you going to stay, what next after this. So that specific person had to spend, I think, more than 5 to 10 minutes near that specific immigration officer. So when I was actually looking at that girl, she was a little scared while she was answering, and she was not sounding confident, and more questions were being asked to her. For the rest of them, not really a lot of questions, I believe. So it again depends on person to person, whichever officer you will have to go to. So they just asked me three things, and the first thing was the ArriveCAN app, which I showed, and the second thing was my offer letter, and the third thing that she asked me to show me was my receipt, the fee payment receipt. And I showed her all the three documents, and she immediately rose from there, and she went. The officer that was talking to me, she actually went away for 2 minutes, and I was really scared. And after that, she came down with two documents, and she gave me my study permit and my work permit, and she also gave me a paper where there was all this information about how do I generate my SIN number. So I asked her if that can be done in the airport, and she said no, now everything is online, so I had to do it all by myself. That's it, guys. Other than that, there were no questions asked to me, and I quickly came back. I took my luggage. Yeah. Now, after you take your luggage and you come out, so my college provided this quarantine package where my transportation was also arranged by them. So there was somebody who was supposed to come and pick me up at the airport. All of that information will be given to you prior by the college, like a week prior before you travel, or 3 or 2 days prior. So you need not worry about it. Before you take your flight, I would suggest you 3 or 4 hours prior to it, check your emails. You'll get all these details on your college ID. Now once you have the number to whom you have to dial, you can do it like I told you. You can connect to the Wi-Fi of that specific airport, and you can give a call to your cab driver. So what happened in my case is, I was not able to connect to my driver because the number wasn't showing up on WhatsApp. And after asking in different other places, there were a lot of help desks available where I asked. So the last and final terminal where you exit out of the airport, that is where there will be pre-arrival bookings or pre-arrival something related to pre-arrival transportation. That is something that will be there. You'll just have to go to the desk, ask the officer to give a call to that specific number, and he will call your cab driver, and all of that arrangements will be done, and that's how you'll be picked up. Now again, I've seen certain people again who had a good connect to the cab driver on WhatsApp, and certain other people who did not know what to do. They were just standing there at the airport, and the cab driver actually told me after I came out, he told me that he would have waited for another 15 minutes, and if I did not come out, he told that he would have actually gone. And he was telling me that the number that the college provided me was the official number. Like, I believe it's that entire transportation at, like, let's say it was Uber, so they gave me the number of that Uber, so the main office. So they do not know whom to contact, and I do not know how to contact the cab driver. So that was a little bit of a confusion there, and he was asking me to take care of it, and if any of my friends were around, he asked me to pass on this information as well. So yeah, guys, so if you are getting the number of the person who is going to come and pick you, try to search it prior if he's on WhatsApp. If that number is not on WhatsApp, that means that is a company number. Do not wait too long in the airport asking for help. Go to the end of the from the place where you exit, and that is where the officer will ask you the number and all of it. He'll call, and the transportation will be arranged for you. And that's it, nothing major other than this. So now, guys, I will help you with all the details of the documents which you need to carry, because they could ask you anywhere from the time you take your first flight until you reach Canada. Any of the immigration services might ask you all of this, and you have to be ready with these documents in your hand. Okay, so let's begin with that. Okay, guys, first of all, not necessarily you would be needing all these single documents, but this is just for you to be ready and organized, so that you do not panic in that situation near the immigration desk or anything as such. Even after you come here to Canada, when you go to your accommodation, when you start when you finish your quarantine, and when you should be moving out from here, these certain documents might help you. So these are not necessarily important for you at the immigration desk. Okay, however, I will tell you every single thing that I carried in this particular file folder of mine, which I might have showed you guys in the other video, which is what's in my bag video. So yeah, so the first and the foremost thing that you would need is the Xerox copies of your passport. You need 5 Xerox copies of your passport, 5 Xerox copies of your visas. I don't really remember if they asked me any of these two, but I kept it on the safer side. The third important thing is your flight ticket, obviously, and if you're doing your web check-in, carry that as well. Now, apart from it, carry your COVID test report. And coming to the COVID report, also I was told that the COVID report or the COVID test that you do, it should be ICMR registered. So try checking about that as well, and see if the place that you're getting yourself tested, is it registered and all of it. So that should come out basically on the printout after you get your results. Okay, now coming to the next thing, which is very important, is your letter of appointment or letter of acceptance, I'm sorry, which your college would be giving you. Then you will also have to carry your fee receipt, that is your first year fees which you would be paying to the college. You should have a fee receipt of that. They asked me my LOA and fee receipt at the immigration service desk. Now you need a quarantine booking or quarantine confirmation. So because there was a rule passed out that you have to go to quarantine through your college. If you're coming in the similar fashion, your college itself will be giving you the confirmation about the same. And I carried my biometric validation letter. So this is something that you will get in your IRCC account. You will have to carry your medicals report. That was also something that I carried, but nobody asked me about it. But it was just for me to be on the safer side. And yeah, your passport submission request, your study permit letter. So once your passport is stamped, you will be getting this study permit letter in your IRCC account. I just took it on the safer side as well. That doesn't mean that that particular file or that document which I got, that doesn't mean that I got my study permit. It is just a statement that my my passport has been stamped, and I am eligible to get a study permit. That is something that would be written in the letter, so I carried that as well. And port of entry. Now port of entry is again something that the college will provide. If you're purchasing a quarantine package from them, they would also provide you with that. However, the port of entry document was not asked to me, at least neither at the immigration desk in Delhi or Hyderabad or Canada. But I don't know, I think that is something that is also very important for, you do not know what they might ask you any minute. So yeah. And the last and the only document which I kept is the Scotia Bank document. So I have the GIC thing that happens for every student, or that we take care of. So I took 5 Xerox copies of the Scotia Bank thing as well. I also got an email about it, and there was a document in it which I took a printout of. So these are the documents, guys, which are very important. I would say, at least I would suggest, maybe for you to be a little organized and not to panic. So if anybody asks you any questions at the immigration desk as well, if you can keep these things handy, maybe it might be helpful. And I think that's it. These are the most important things. To sum it all again, the first and the most important thing that you will have to do when you're in India is to get yourself tested for COVID. That is 72 hours is the time limit of until the time you reach Canada. The report should be valid for 72 hours. And after your COVID report, your ArriveCan app, which is again very very important. Without that application, you will have to wait. Now, if when people were not having that application on their phone, they were asked to leave the line, go aside, sit down, get it sorted, and then enter the line. First of all, the lines are very 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 lengthy, and everybody is in a hurry to leave. So looking at them, you might get panicked. So do download the ArriveCan app and fill in all your flight details and all that information. You will get a code. If not if not, if you're not able to connect to the Wi-Fi there, maybe you should keep a printout of that as well. And the third most important thing which you need to carry is all the printouts, the list which I told you guys quite early. And yeah, I think If you get all of these done, I think you will be quite sorted here. And also another thing, guys, when you're coming to quarantine here, I would suggest you do not open up all your luggage bags. Just keep your cabin bag aside. Do not add any food items in it, because food is something that the hotel provides you. So just get 14 days, just get all your dresses which you might wear for the next 14 days, all your comfortable clothes. And because you'll also have to sit down and take online classes, get some good clothes and comfy clothes, put it in your cabin bag, and only open the cabin bag, and do not you need not go ahead and you know eat anything or open the main bags for anything, because once you'll have to move from here again, you will have to do it all by yourself. So that's one suggestion that I would give from my end. So apart from that, yeah guys, everything is right what I told you about. So that was my entire experience from the time I took my flight and until I reached Canada. So I really hope this information helps a lot of you guys out there who are planning to come as soon as possible. And if you have any other questions or suggestions, do let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, please take some time to subscribe to my channel and also like this video of mine. And I think I'll see you guys in my next video then. Bye bye.